Hey, what's happening, everybody? Thank you for tuning into my first episode of Jason's Tiki Adventures. Thanks for tuning in. It's something new, something cool. Want to try out something different than thrifting, and you all know me as the Tiki guy. So that's what we're doing tonight. We are talking Tiki. It's kind of like my little travel log. So I am currently out and about around the country teaching eBay classes and thrifting classes. And I have told my friend who helps me book my tour, I said, we have to go places where there are tiki bars at. And he laughed. And I said, I'm not kidding. And he goes, I know you're not kidding, but I just laughed anyway. So it just so happens in the last 2 months, I've been in Missouri twice. And who knew there was a hotbed of activity in the middle of the country in Missouri, because in my 2 trips, we've hit 3 tiki bars. So imagine if you took Yelp reviews and Tripadvisor reviews and Critiki reviews and slammed them all together and made a YouTube show. And that's what this is. Jason's Tiki Adventures. This first episode is called Destination Missouri. Now, for those of my non-Tiki friends who have turned in, you're like, well, geez, Jay, I heard of Yelp. I've heard of Tripadvisor. What the heck is Critiki? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we're going to talk about that a little bit more later in the show. But Critiki is my friend's website who profiles all the tiki bars in the country, in the world, actually, both current and deceased, if you will. So old Don the Beachcombers, old Trader Vic's, the Luau in Beverly Hills, places like that. So with me on the first episode tonight, joining me is my friend Kim Gordon. Hello, Kim. How the hell are you?
I'm good. I'm good. This is so fun.
Something a little different, huh?
A lot different.
Very nice necklace, by the way. I got no jewelry on tonight, but I love your necklace.
Thank you.
So Kim was with me at all 3 tiki bars, so we will get into that in a second. But first, I am going to pour myself a cocktail in my Den of Sin glass. Ooh. I'm going to pour some rum out of my Den of Sin decanter.
That is very cool.
You've never seen that, have you?
I've never seen that, no.
So, let me back it up here. There we go. And let me pour some Diet Coke out of my Diet Coke bottle. There we go. So tonight's rum, I think that's my next screen. Hold on, please. Hold, please. This is all brand new. I'm just trying something new here. Oh, yeah. So I'm coming at you live from the Den of Sin, which is my home tiki bar. I'd like to thank Doug Horn. If you're in the tiki world, you know Doug Horn's art. Doug did our home logo for us. Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
You're like, I make a damn good drink.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I'll make actual cocktails, but, you know, it's a lot quicker to throw some rum and a Diet Coke and some lime together for a Diet Cuba Libre. And tonight I am drinking a Brinley Gold Shipwreck. Their spiced rum. Brinley Gold makes some pretty good rum, so we'd like to have Brinley Gold in the Den of Sin. Cujo. And I hear Cujo in the background.
All the 3 pounds, yeah.
And I'm going to jump right off with
broke in the door,
so to speak, because we're going to be cross-promoting. My friend Adrian has a podcast called Inside the Desert Oasis Room. I'm doing a YouTube show called Jason's Tiki Adventures. So when you're done watching me, if you're interested in a little bit more tiki and you have not heard Inside the Desert Oasis Room, go over there, download it to your iPhone, to your computer, and make sure to check out episode 38 and 46. Those are the episodes I'm on, and then listen to the rest of them. So let's get right into it, shall we? So
yes.
What was it, about 6 weeks ago now, Kim?
Yeah.
We were in Kansas City, and a gentleman by the name of Mark opened a tiki bar in the basement of his beer bar. And his beer bar is called Hopcat, and his tiki bar is called Tiki Cat. As you can see, there's a theme. Meow. So Tiki Cat's kind of hidden. Like when I walked in, I didn't know exactly where it was. So we had to ask, and I won't let you in on the secret. You got to find it yourself, because, you know, it's no fun to tell the secrets.
Yeah.
You know?
It's one of those you don't see when you walk in. You have no clue.
Exactly. And it's one of those where I kind of, you can tell when people are looking, because you're like, where am I going now? The GPS says I'm here, but I don't see a tiki bar.
And nobody's going to help you. They're looking at you, waiting for you to figure it out.
They know, kind of like when I sit in Frankie's, which is my local tiki bar, and we'll do an episode about Frankie's. The men's bathroom and the women's bathroom are next to each other. The women's bathroom has a coconut bra on it, yet people are still very confused. So we sit there all night and go, left side, Right side. And then they think we're lying just to mess with them. And we never are, but I think I'm going to start lying next time. And we'll be at Frankie's, you and I and Stacy next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So,
yay.
Heck yeah. So let's go back to Tiki Cat here. So Tiki Cat is 1 year old, just had their 1 year anniversary like 3 weeks ago, which Adrian, our friend, was at. And man, let me tell you, the drinks are on point. The decor is on point. The staff is on point. So if you go to their website and you go to their drinks, my buddy Martin Kate, who owns the premier rum bar in the world, Smuggler's Cove up in San Francisco, he was hired to create their cocktail program. And they have some of the classics, and then they have some of their own specific drinks. And let me tell you, none of them are bad. None of them.
Not one.
No.
They're really good. Like almost easy to continue drinking good.
Yeah.
They slide down smooth. But the decor's cool.
The decor's cool. And hey, I'm glad you said that. Nice segue.
Oh.
Because, here we are having a drink. And look, let me tell you, if you're new to Tiki, and I hope we got some Tiki viewers watching, but if you're new to Tiki, there are like 4 or 5 parts to a good Tiki bar. The first, of course, is the decor. The second is the music. The third is the drinks, but then there's like a little offshoot to the drinks, the accoutrement to the drink. It should be on point. And this is on point right here, because all drinks should be adorned with something, and they should not all be the same, by the way. So here's here's another drink with some more accoutrement. I see a lot of rum sticking out of that. Matter of fact, it's sticking out of this mug right here, which we'll talk about a little bit at the end of the show. And let's look at the decor here. So this is a piece of artwork done by my favorite artist, Shag. I think specifically for Tiki Cat. Mark hired a lot of different artists to create the ambiance, the look of Tiki Cat. Here is, I don't know who did these. I'm going to guess either Keegs or maybe Tiki Diablo. They're kind of Widco-esque, but they're modern. So they're not Widco.
Mm-hmm.
And our good friend Bridget's in the chat. She's been at Tiki Cat. She said their drinks are incredible. They had a special Christmas grog that she said was out of this world.
Hi,
baby. And they also did a little work on the ceiling. I always do this upshot to see what's happening on the ceiling. You know, I'm peeking in kind of like a Where's Waldo or Kilroy Was Here kind of thing. And not only do they have the appropriate lights, the glass floats, they got a little Gilligan's Island on the ceiling there. So if you get to a tiki bar, look up. There should be something going on in the ceiling. And if there isn't, maybe you're not at the best tiki bar.
I love that.
And what was cool was they had these little like huts, and the bar's not big. And I don't have an overall shot, and I wish I did, but the bar is not big. But in the bar, they had these little huts where you could sit with your friends.
You know, I'll have to look through my pictures. I may have one from the front looking.
All right. While you got it handy while we're
yeah, let me look
right now, and I'll pop it up.
Okay.
So if you're in Kansas City, make sure to, after you've had some kick-ass barbecue, which I had a lot of it in Kansas City, put on a few LBs, but make sure you head over to Tiki Cat because they are on point. I cannot give them enough kudos. And let me tell you, their staff is incredible. Mark, I congratulated Mark, the owner. He goes, I didn't hire everybody. I hired the guy that hired everybody, but I'll let my staff know. Because when you own a business, you always hear the complaints. It's hard. And sometimes you don't always hear the compliments. So I actually messaged Mark when we got home from that trip, and because we were at Tiki Cat like 2 or 3 nights in a row. I messaged him. I said, your staff is on point. So well done. Well done on the drinks. Well done on the core. And bonus fun fact, when you walk into Tiki Cat, I didn't even take a picture of this. I'm going to take much better pictures for the upcoming episodes. When you walk into Tiki Cat, on the right is a whole display shelf of mugs, and Mark actually bought the bottom like 2 or 3 rows from me. He messaged me one day and said, hey, I got $500 and he had to finish this display case. What you got for me? So I'm a little part of Tiki Cat, so that makes me all very happy.
You know what? I'm going to have to look through a lot of pictures. It's not filed right, so...
If you look at your phone and you search by Missouri, they'll come up.
Yeah, but...
Uh-oh.
Mine didn't. What?
What's the but?
But mine seem to not be in any kind of order anymore. I don't know what happened.
But still, if you type Missouri, it'll show you all pictures taken in Missouri.
I did that and nothing came up. Only just like a thrift store. Yeah, on my phone.
That is very weird. All right. Well, you always have those weird problems.
I know.
But we do have a question from the chat, and I'd love to answer questions. So if you've got questions, my friend Debbie, who's got a little wrench next to her name, wave Debbie, hello. She'll be happy to take your questions. She pops them over to me. Adele wants to know, what exactly is Tiki? Well, I guess that the most basic Tiki is a Polynesian god. This is a Tiki. So that is what Tiki is. And then Tiki bars are exaggerated versions of all things Tiki. And is Tiki just Hawaiian things? No, it is Polynesian, though. And there's what's called the Polynesian Triangle. Google that afterwards. And I'll actually bring that up next episode. The Polynesian Triangle goes all the way from New Zealand to the Cook Islands or Easter Island. Easter Island. And then up to Hawaii and Fiji and Bora Bora. That's the Polynesian Triangle. So the Tikis throughout the Polynesian Triangle are all different. All right, so we have now left Kansas City, and we went back home to our respective homes. Kim lives in L.A. I live in Las Vegas, or Henderson to be technical. And then we were heading back to St. Louis to teach some classes. So there's a Tiki bar in downtown St. Louis, and then another one somewhat nearby. We'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about the downtown St. Louis Tiki bar, the only Tiki bar in St. Louis, the Taha'a Twisted Tiki. Pretty good name. Went for the whole actual Hawaiian with the, I don't know what it's called, but the Taha'a. St. Louis's only Tiki bar. Look, I'm not doing this show to beat up on bars, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to call like I see it. And sometimes these bars aren't going to be good. They're not going to be good. So so here's a picture, like, pretty decent decor. Kim's head's growing out of my arm, and pretty decent look on the outside. And funny enough, they had Jobu. Now, Jobu will only mean things to two types of people who've seen the movie Major League and Cleveland Indians fans. Because Dennis Haybert prayed to his god Jobu, and Jobu had rum, and Jobu let him be able to hit curveballs, if I'm recalling correctly. Now, here is my problem with the Taha'a Tiki Lounge. I got to go back up here to their menu. Their cocktails are made with not the best rums, and I'm being kind right this moment. Let's go to the drinks menu, and we'll go to the Tiki cocktails. Captain Morgan coconut rum, Bacardi banana rum, Bacardi dragonberry rum. That is not the first ingredient of fine rum cocktails. Those of you new, fine Tiki cocktails. Those of you new to the Tiki world and watching maybe this and seeing Tiki for the first time, you're looking for better quality rums, and almost never, except for one exception, never flavored rums. Your first ingredient should not be dragonberry. All right. Captain Morgan coconut rum, Myers dark rum. So we had drinks, and that's all I'll say. Kim has the same opinion.
I'm not even like a Tiki person. I'm learning all this new from you and Stacy, but I don't think.
So then but I'm looking at this wall, and I wish I had a better picture. Again, this show was just kind of something I threw together. Wish I had a better picture. This wall has all their rums, and as you can see, Plantation Original Dark is on there. The rest of the wall had really good rums. Like, I was impressed with their rum selection, and I'm like, why aren't you using those rums in your drinks? So we drank just rum next, and that was fine. And it was a rum I never had, but they had a lot of plantations, a lot of Angostura. I think they had some Zaya, some Ranzacapa. So they had a really good rum selection. So if you're in the St. Louis area, I would recommend checking out this bar, but I would just stick with a Cuba Libre, which is rum, Coke or Diet Coke, and lime, and pick one of the good rums on the wall. That is my suggestion.
They have good backyard, a back patio with real torches.
Well, thanks for that segue. Well done, because I will give them bonus points. Bonus props. Oops, which picture? There it is. They have actual flamed tiki torches in the back. Really nice ones. So mad props for having an outdoor area for the summertime, and mad props for having real flame tiki torches. So, but I want to point out something, and actually, Kim, talk for a quick second while I bring up something. So what were your overall impression? There's one other thing I didn't like about that bar. And do you remember what it was?
The music.
No, the music was, they were kind of going back and forth.
Okay,
So
we're going back and forth, but like you liked it in the beginning. You're like, okay, the music's on point, and then they played, I don't know, some some song that wasn't on point. What else did you like about the bar?
Didn't like.
I don't know.
It
Oh,
was all. Yeah, go ahead.
No, what were we gonna say?
It was a little too bright.
Yeah.
It was, tiki bars are supposed to be dark and moody. This was more like, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really bright.
All right. So what I wanted to show you is, wrong mug. Sorry. So the de-evolution of tiki mugs. There are current modern mug manufacturers that make copies of old mugs, and they do it poorly, and I don't like them. And I call them Sarahs, and Sarah stands for smash and run away. And we'll be talking about that in future episodes. This is a very tiny picture of what's called the Almond Eyes Tiki mug. This is a vintage version. As you can see, there's a lot of nice detail to this mug. The little crown on the top, the grooves through the chest. A lot of nice detail. Here was now, of course, they didn't make this mug at the Taha'a Tiki bar, but they bought it, and they bought the worst version I've ever seen in my life. There it is. So here is the good version, and here is the worst version I have ever seen. Look how bad it's got. Talk about the de-evolution of tiki mugs. Holy crap, that is horrible. So I'm not faulting them because it's cheap to buy these. I get it. But if you're going to have a tiki lounge, you should have your custom mugs because tourists and anyone there likes to leave with them. We'll talk about that in a little bit here.
Their top of their bar was very cool.
Yeah. It doesn't get an F. It definitely doesn't get an F. And the drink was, I forget. I think we ordered Mai Tais or something, or Zombie. It was passable. Like, I've had way worse. But and their mug selection's not so good. But the rum selection's good. And look, next time I come, I'm going to get a nice glass of rum, and I'm going to go sit out next to the live tiki.
There you go.
All right. Now, when you're in St. Louis, Missouri, and you want a good tiki bar experience, you look around and you see that 2 hours and 9 minutes to the west is Jefferson City, or Jeff City as the locals call it, state capital of Missouri. And there happens to be a tiki lounge in there called the Shrunken Head Tropic Lounge.
Nice picture. Nice.
And so we got done teaching class, and we headed out, and everyone's like, what? You are driving 2 hours and 9 minutes for a tiki bar? Like, yes, I am.
Yep, he did.
So here's how small town, so Kim lives in LA. I live in Vegas. Here's how small town Jefferson City is, and what I am so not used to. I grew up in a small town, haven't lived there in a long time. We get to the Shrunken Head, and it's like 6:45 p.m. And I said to Kim, hey, I'm going to bring up Google Maps. Let's see if there's any thrift stores or antique stores or record stores open, and then we'll go to the bar. No. Not only are they not open and closed already for the day by 6:45 p.m. of a Saturday, does not reopen until Monday or Tuesday. Every business I looked at is closed on Sunday for sure, and some are closed on Monday. I'm like, well.
Yeah, maybe, be back Tuesday.
Hello, Old Town. And then when we left the bar, which was like, 9:15, 9:30, and we were heading back to get on the interstate, all the lights in town are already blinking, meaning so small town, no one's out. You don't have to go through the cycles anymore. Just blinking lights.
It was a ghost town. It was so quiet.
So great art, hand-painted art inside the bar, and great cocktails. Now, the best I've ever had, no. Way better than St. Louis? Absolutely. But really good. Like, I wasn't mad at any of the drinks. I was very happy with the cocktails, and Kim and I tried 4 between the two of us.
Yeah, they were good.
And the owners' names, I want to give a shout to them because I know they're watching, probably not live because they're probably working, is Conrad and Tiffany. By pure luck, Tiffany was bartending, the owner, teaching a new bartender, and Conrad was sitting at the bar, so we got to talking with them, and I told them what a great bar it was and just gave them a few tips for it. Good cocktails, good accoutrement on the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And to my obligatory up picture. So there's a ship's wheel with some hanging. I think those were shells or not.
They were shells, 2 rows of shells.
But I loved the lights. Again, little baby Roth did the artwork on the walls, and they said the bummer is if they ever move or close the business, it's paint on the wall, so they're going to have to cut out some drywall.
That's what you were saying.
Take this original art. And here's their cocktails. And what I kind of liked, it was kind of different, was they had their signature cocktails, traditional, and stolen cocktails. So we had a little bug flying around. We had a free rum scum, which is which is a Frankie's cocktail, Frankie's Tiki Room. And it was pretty on point. Like, it was a 3 rum scum that Frankie's would make. So I was very impressed. As you can see, they're not all that specific on the rums they're using, but they had a little decent rum selection. It wasn't gigantic.
And their happy hour went the whole night.
Oh, yeah. It was happy hour Tuesday. So although this is small town, kids, $7 cocktails, except for Tuesday or whatever day we were there, $5 cocktails. So granted, it took us 2 hours and 9 minutes to get there, but it was $5 cocktails.
Yep. Happy hour it was.
And again, great art. Now, the one thing I did tell them, and again, I'll take better pictures next week. They need more stuff on the walls. It was, great art, but then there was a lot of empty space, and that's not how Tiki works. And you'll see, you saw Tiki Cat. It was like they built out that whole place, and they could turn the lights down a little bit, But I don't have any pictures, but they do have a Gilligan's Island pinball machine. And the whole point of the pinball machine was to go, it was called the Shrunken Head Gilligan's Island. So, I mean, it really added a nice touch to the Tiki bar. So if you find yourself in Jefferson City, I highly, highly recommend the Shrunken Head Lounge. The owners are fantastically nice people. They make good drinks. They've got good specials. And I like a good shitty light American beer. And I had that after 2 cocktails to even out the night. More art. And this, Kim's like, you want me to take that picture because it would be a lot clearer and nicer. No, it's much more fun to try and hold your phone, push the timer, and get it so like I'm drinking the booze that the Kraken arm is holding. So it's much more fun to try and do it yourself. It's a whole to do. It is a whole to do. And in case you don't know my Tiki pedigree, I'm Tiki for life. I just had a Down the Beachcomber logo tattooed on my forearm this week, so I am Tiki through and through. What up? All right, so that's how the show is going to work. And like I said, it'll be a little more involved next week because I didn't take the right pictures as I was setting this up. I'm like, oh, I should have a picture of this and a better picture of the whole bar and this and that. So next week, we're off. Kim and I are off to teach some more classes. We're going to be in Phoenix for 2 nights and Tucson for a night. So we're hitting 3 Tiki places in Phoenix. The main new one that I have not been to is Undertow. Again, Kim, it's a Tiki bar underneath another bar.
Oh, how cool.
Except this one is not hard to find. The stairway, and I'm sure drunks fall down all the time. The stairway is in the middle of the bar, the upper bar.
Oh.
So in the middle of the upper bar, you just walk down the stairs.
I'm sure there's some spills.
Oh, yeah. Tiny little bar. So we are going to Undertow. We are going to have dinner at Hula's Modern Grill. And the Bikini Lounge is a Tiki bar that's been in Phoenix since, like, I don't know, the 40s. It's a little more cleaned up than when I first went there, but we're going to hit those 3 places. Then we're off to Tucson for a night to hit Kon-Tiki with some friends. So we will be, I think we're going to do the show next week, Saturday, live from my house, because Kim and I will be coming back from Tucson to here, and then she doesn't leave till later in the evening. So we'll probably do a live show next Saturday.
Fun.
So I decided to have 2 segments. 2 segments in the show, besides, of course, the preview or the review of the places I went. That's not it. And I'm calling it, I probably should have a sound effect, the Den of Sin new Tiki mug. So the Den of Sin is my home bar, and I add new Tiki mugs all the time. So I thought I'd profile something I've added. So here is the two ones I'm going to profile. Maybe what I'll do is I'll profile a vintage mug and a modern mug. So the Emerson Hotel, crap, I forgot where that was. Do you know the Emerson Hotel, Kim?
I don't.
Emerson Hotel was in... Nope, that's not it. That's not it.
Wrong one. Wrong Emerson.
I was in Baltimore. And this is a vintage mug from the Emerson. Now, it doesn't look a thing like Tiki. It looks actually like a possessed Amish guy.
Yeah.
It's got the beard and the mustache. But oddly enough, I had a saved eBay search for this mug, and I never found one, myself or a decent price. And one of the members of the thrifting board or the Secret Beach, the 2 Facebook groups I run, it's like, hey, look at the mug I found. So I just bought it straight off of them. So this is the Hawaiian room at the Emerson Hotel. This is a decent mug. So if you ever find this mug and you're not collecting, this is a good mug to flip. You'll actually get some decent money, upwards of maybe $100. So keep your eyes peeled. Because those of you who are new to Tiki, if you saw this without seeing the back, you might think, well, that ain't Tiki. That's an Amish mug or a Weird Abe Lincoln or something.
Yeah, you wouldn't think, oh, that's Tiki mug.
But that is definitely Tiki. So that is my newest vintage one. And the Shrunken Head Lounge, when they opened, they had a Kickstarter. And I went all in. And this is one of the things I got. This is a fez from the Shrunken Head Lounge. Now, do you think I remember to wear my fez to the Shrunken Head Lounge? Nope. So I'm wearing it tonight in honor of them. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And they have their own Tiki mug. So this is their Tiki mug. They went for a freshwater feel, like catfish and stuff. So like middle of Missouri kind of thing. So that's the Shrunken Head Lounge. So that is the newest additions
to the Tiki collection.
To the Den of Sin Tiki collection, which numbers in the 1,000. The 1,000. It numbers 1,000. And then the last little thing is the Den of Sin Marketplace. I sell stuff on eBay and Facebook, and I vend at Tiki events. So I thought if you're tuning into a Tiki thing and you might be interested in buying something, I'm always going to profile a few things I have for sale. Probably one on the cheaper side and one on the more expensive side. So for the collector and for the just in. So the first thing I'm going to offer up for sale, and if you're interested, basically the first person to message me on Facebook with their, I want it, we'll get it. So this is from Tiki Cat. This is the Nefertiti mug. And that's the mug you saw in the picture with all the mint sticking out of it. So you can get this on eBay. They are sold out at Tiki Cat. You can get this on eBay for $50 or from me for $35 plus whatever shipping it would be to your residence.
That's a deal.
What a deal. So if you're interested in the Tiki Cat Nefertiti mug, $35. Now, I was just going to do mugs, Kim. And then I thought to myself, I said, self, what else do you sell? Well, I sell a lot of fine Hawaiian clothing. So
show us what you have.
Tonight for sale, I have this nice men's Kahala. Kahala is a great brand of Hawaiian shirts. This nice men's button down, kind of an abstract bird of paradise shirt. And it is reverse print, meaning it is a little bit brighter on the inside than the outside.
I like that.
This is a size extra large. And this could be yours for only $22.
No.
I know, isn't that crazy? I'm crazy. I'm making deals.
Serious?
I'm making deals.
Oh my $22. Really? That is awesome.
Now, for the collector, this is only be for the collector because the price, because I don't even know where to price it, Kim. This one is a weird one. I think it's a one-off.
Okay.
And I searched eBay and I searched WorthPoint, and I can't find anyone ever selling one. And I was going to sell it on eBay, but I thought I'd offer it here first. So those of you in the Tiki community, you are familiar with Von Franco. Von Franco is an artist. It's called what's called lowbrow artist, hot rod artist, Tiki artist. And he made this cigar box with his signature Tiki and then did pinstriping on it.
Oh, gosh, that's beautiful.
So this it's got the little hinge right here.
That is nice.
So never been used, but this is a Von, and I'm not going to say it is, but I think it might be a one of a kind. I bought it directly from Von Franco at a Tiki Oasis 100 years ago. I cannot find another one being sold anywhere. So if he made more, he didn't make them mass produced. So
that's very cool.
So if you're interested in this, I'm not letting this one go cheap because this is a one of a kind or maybe one of a three, but $150 will get you the Von Franco cigar holder. And you can hit me up on Facebook. It's real easy to find me, or my email is tikipug@gmail. Real easy to find me. So last thing I want to profile is what I mentioned at the top of the show is Critiki.com. So when you're traveling anywhere, if you go to my friend Michelle's site, Critiki.com, and let's say, hey, where are we going? Oh, let's go to Phoenix, Arizona, shall we? So we'll type in Phoenix. And the brown tikis are things that are in business. And then if you see a gray tiki, it shows you where an old tiki bar used to be. So, for instance, if we click right here, that's the Bikini Lounge. That's where we're going to start at our first Tiki establishment next Wednesday. And then it'll show you everything else. So here is Gilligan's Con Tiki Lounge, what isn't all that good. So we will not be stopping at Gilligan's. So let's see that rating, that 4.4, that's out of 10. So if we click on Undertow, they get a 9.5 out of 10.
We don't want to go the 4.4 one then.
So yes, we do not want to be visiting 4.4s. Now, if I end up in a town with only a 4.4, I'll stick my head in. If I end up in a town that has a 9.5 and a 6.8, well, I will say the Bikini Lounge gets a 5, but the Bikini Lounge is vintage.
Okay.
So you're going to see.
So it gets a reason that it's a 5.
Yeah, the drinks are probably not the best. We'll probably have a beer, but they have over 50-year-old black velvets, and just that you got to see that.
Oh wow!
You got to see the history.
I can't wait. That's very, very cool.
So we do have a good question in the chat. If you have more questions, throw it out there. What size? Oh, what size is the shirt? Again, the shirt is an extra large, $22 for the shirt. Stephanie wants to know, what is the rarest tiki item you don't have? Would love to keep an eye out for you. Wow, I've acquired a lot of holy grails recently. Let me think. I'm gonna give you. I'll give you one I don't have.
Isn't it that bowl you were looking for? No.
Yes. Good. All right.
Ooh,
so
I listen.
My friend Michelle not only has Critiki, she has another one called Ooga Mooga. And Ooga Mooga profiles all the tiki mugs and bowls. And the Vicious Virgin Bowl is one that I've always wanted. Did I spell vicious right? I guess I will find out shortly, won't I?
Looks like it. I can't.
There we go. So this is the Vicious Virgin Bowl. Came from the Islander, which was located in Los Angeles, California, back in the day.
Wow.
And a good friend of mine found a pink one about a year ago up in Reno, and it was marked Nude Bowl. Because here's the tricky part about this: there are no markings on this bowl. So you do not. If you do not know, you do not know.
Yeah,
you do not know it's a Vicious Virgin Bowl. You do not know it's from the Islander. Some mugs. So just to show you, for those of you who are new to Tiki, this says Tiki Cat right here on the front. And on the bottom, it says made by Tiki Farm. It's a little over glazed, but there it is. So it kind of gives you, where it's from. This one says Shrunken Head Lounge, Jefferson City, Missouri. Manufacturer on the bottom. Here's the other Tiki Cat mug, Tiki Cat. So usually you got a jumping off point. Not so in the Vicious Virgin Bowl. Doesn't say that. Doesn't say the Islander. Doesn't say squadoosh. So keep your eyes peeled because that is a very expensive bowl. And then you go, how expensive is it?
No, I know. I was like, how expensive is it?
Thank you. Let's see if any come up on Worth Point, because I'll tell you if I don't.
They have them on Ooga Mooga or no? They don't have them. The price there?
Yeah, but I want to see if there's any I can bring up on the Worth Point. So we're gonna go back up to Ooga Mooga here and back it up.
I like the one with the blue. It's pretty.
Okay, so one sold in October of 2012 for $1,199. And that's about the going rate. Whatever the one was for $1 on eBay, that's wrong.
I mean,
so $1,400 back in 2008. Yeah. So it's going to depend on the glaze, because as you can see, some got two tone, some got a single tone. So that is $1,000 Tiki bowl.
And it doesn't even look like a Tiki bowl. I'd have passed that up. I would have never stopped to think, oh, that's Tiki.
So Stacy's downstairs. Hey, Stace, if you'd like to run up the rarest Holy Grail I have, I'll be happy to show it, and we'll end the show on that. So as I said, thank you for tuning in. This is the first episode of Jason's Tiki Travels. Next week, it'll be live a week from tomorrow. I don't know the time yet because we're driving home, so it kind of depends. But it'll be late afternoon, early evening next Saturday. So for episode number 2, and we'll be covering all the Phoenix and Tucson haunts we just hit.
Yay!
And there'll be other episodes coming up. And I'm going to be at 3 Tiki events this summer, and I'll be doing those episodes live from the event. And so we'll have guests coming in. I'll grab an artist or a musician or two. So it'll not just be my friends, my degenerate Tiki drinking gang hanging out with me around the country. It'll also be the artists in the scene, the musicians,
the real people,
the Tiki mug makers. So someone's asking us, Ooga Mooga's being updated. Ooga Mooga could be updated by anybody, but it's not updated enough. and the errors, like there's no way a vicious virgin bull sold for $1. So that's why when people look for worth, I can read through all that. I know the bull's still worth $1,000, but if you look at the average, because of that $1, it screws it all up. And so that's why I don't like to send people to Ooga Mooga to base their prices. I'd rather help you. I can read through it, and I can tell you the exact price.
I wonder how many are left out there. See, now I'm on a mission. I want to find one like that. That's so beautiful.
The holiest of holy grails.
We got a couple more lately.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of holy grails, but this is the holiest of holy grails.
Okay. Which one is it?
This is called the Ren Clark's severed head. So you drink out of the neck of the severed head. So it's from Ren Clark's Polynesian Village, which was in Texas, Dallas, Texas. So again, if you're new to the tiki scene, you see this, you would never think, oh, that's a tiki mug.
No.
But it is.
That is very cool.
All right. So, hey, do me a favor. I see we got like 78 people.
Wait. Oh, how much is that one worth?
Oh, this one's worth over $1,000 too.
Wow. Okay.
So we got 78 people watching live. Thank you very much for those of you who tuned in on a Friday night to watch my inaugural Jason's Tiki Adventure show. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up over there. I see some of my my real fans have come by and give me 3 thumbs down so far.
Oh,
hey,
thank you.
Thanks. I appreciate the fact that you tuned in to watch anyway, even though you don't, you little.
And you know they're still watching. Oh, they're still watching.
Giving me a thumbs down.
Oh, they're still watching.
But yeah, so this is episode 1. Thank you very much. If there's something you want to see in this show, if you want to, well, I know I'm gonna take better pictures of the bars. I'll probably take better pictures of the menus and stuff too. So if there's something you want to see, if there's a bar you want me to profile, if I'm coming to your town and you drink with me at the bar, you might be my next guest host on the show. So, I'll, whoever hangs out, whatever degenerates want to hang out with me, you got to come up with a name for my tiki crew, the Tiki Degenerates.
Degenerates. That sounds terrible.
The Believers. No, I think it's already taken. I kind of like Jason's Tiki Degenerates. I kind of like that. We could have fun t-shirts and everything. Doesn't flow? You don't like the flow? Tiki Degenerates?
Tiki Degenerates.
All right, we'll ruminate on that. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on a Friday night. Degenerates. All right.
Oh, Stacy's on fire tonight.
And then we'll see you guys next Saturday with episode 2.
Yay!
A review of Phoenix and Tucson. So
I'm going to keep drinking with you now.
Yeah. All right, so we are out here. Aloha, Shaka, hang loose. Thank you, everybody. Destination Missouri. That's a wrap on Destination Missouri. Coming up will be Destination Phoenix, Tucson. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye. Aloha.